Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with podcast number 108. Today on the podcast, we're going to do the 5 questions sent in by investors like yourself who had a question, needed an answer. So here goes. Question number 1. I noticed that on the Daily Deal podcast, the seller was contacted back twice and asked the same script questions again. Won't this annoy some sellers? They may say, why are you asking me the same questions? What's your offer? Or are you going to buy my house? Well, it may annoy some sellers, but we're doing great. So far this week, we've bought 10 houses. It's only Thursday, and we still have Thursday, Friday to go. So if it annoys someone, fine. If it doesn't annoy someone, fine. We're going to do what the script says to do. We're going to follow a program, follow a system, a procedure that we have proven to ourselves works and works great. I am not in business to do what my consumer would like me to do from a nice perspective. I'm in business because I know asking certain questions on purpose gets the results that I need and communicates to the seller the way I want to communicate with them. Because if I ask the seller, hey seller, how much can I buy your house for? They're going to say $100,000 more than I want to. And then what do I say then? Okay, I'm just going to do that. No, we have to ask questions on purpose. We're going to drill down. And it is what it is. So no, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to change anything up. I'm going to buy me some friggin' houses. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what anybody else wants to do. If you guys want to change your script and not buy any houses, go do that. Question number 2. Can you please talk about what a non-motivated seller sounds like so that we aren't wasting valuable time on the phone? I can. They hang up on you. Or they say, I want more for my house than my house is worth. Or they say, I'm not willing to negotiate. Or they say, tell me the price. You're the one that sent me the marketing material. You're the expert. You tell me the price. That's not a motivated seller. If I had a broken arm, you know what I would do? I'd go to the hospital and I expect them to fix my broken arm. Nothing else. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to talk about a broken arm. I'm not going to ask them, do you think that's broken? If it's broken, it's broken. I want it fixed. If I have a house to sell and it's broken, I need to sell it. I am not going to ask any other stupid questions or make some stupid comments about that I want more for my house than it's worth or whatever. And yes, we get a lot of those fantasy land sellers. That's what we get. That's the business we're in. We're looking for the ones that aren't fantasy land. We're looking for the horse shack from Welcome Back Carter who raises their hand so high and so obnoxious about telling you they have the answer. They have the house that you want to buy and they're willing to discount it to you. They tell you the house has been appraised for more than it's worth to them. So it's easy to find out what a non-motivated seller sounds like. Click. You name me a price. I'm not willing to give you a price. I'm not going to go any lower. I don't have time for people like that because I am going to talk to the people that want to sell me a house and I'm going to do it in abundance. Question number 3. What are the 7 data sets and how do you use them? 7 data sets are 7 data providers that we use. 2 of them are paid data set providers. The other 5 are non-paid. They give us an opinion. So an algorithm opinion. So with that algorithm opinion, we can determine if the seller, when we ask the seller what they think their house is worth, and they say what they think their house is worth, then at that point, we can come to a conclusion whether or not the seller is in reality land or fantasy land, and at that point, fall forward to order our BPO. But having the 7 data sets is absolutely a must-have when you're buying across the country or even if you're buying in your backyard.
Thanks for listening to Buy, Sell, Fix, Flip. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com. And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 4. How do you quickly and politely end the conversation with a seller who thinks their house is worth more than it is? I'm sorry, I have another phone call. Thank you for talking to me, and you have a wonderful day. Easiest way to get someone off the phone. I am not going to argue with my prospect. We don't want to get into emotional combatants with our prospect. We want to be able to talk to them again when they're in reality land mode so we can buy their house. So I'm not going to be unpolite or impolite with them. I am going to be nicey nice, okay? I'm going to get them off the phone. It's okay to say, hey. Now, if they're yelling at me, now, you really have to be careful if you think you can yell at me. Because I just might drive over and have a conversation with you yelling at me. But if someone is yelling at me, here's what I do. Ma'am or sir, I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, I'm going to hang up on you because it doesn't appear as though you want to have a conversation with me. 1, 2, 3. Hang up. Now that SOB may call you back and say, you just hung up on me. And to that, I'm going to say, I did. And I forewarned you in advance. I gave you the courtesy that you were not giving me or showing me. If you'd like to have a normal conversation, one that communicates what we do for you and sell us your house instead of hollering and having a tonality that is unreasonable and unprofessional and quite frankly rude, then we can do that. And I do not mind mimicking my prospect who's rude. I will be rude back because sometimes those guys don't get it. So that's how I'm going to handle it. Question number 5, it's a scenario question, and I love scenario questions. You're buying a property from a seller who has owned a rental for years. Their current tenant owes the seller thousands of dollars in unpaid rent. The seller has been unable to do anything about that due to her old age. That's terrible, someone taking advantage of someone like that. How would you handle this? Do you get involved somehow, or do you leave that up to the seller to get their money and evict the tenant? Well, you know, everybody has a policy. And I know policies are meant to be broken. I mean, I just know it. You know, the policy is you can't drive more than 70 miles an hour. They didn't tell that to my Bentley because my Bentley doesn't like 70. So, but here's what we do. Plain and simple. And as soon as I tell you this is what we do, I just told you a lie. But here's what we do. We wait to buy the property after the tenant's been out. So if our contract's supposed to close on the 1st, tenant's not out, we wait for the tenant to be out. And I just lied to you because we do that like 99% of the time. That 1%, here's what we do. We go, how much are we at risk if we're buying the property and we have a tenant involved? We're at risk $680. And 1 month, maybe 45 days of eviction process. So we get the seller to reduce the sales price by $750 plus the holding costs for that period of time. And then we boot the tenant out. And it's okay. We hate it. We don't like it. But when we're buying property at 55 cents on the dollar, I am not going to go sideways with the seller and as Gabriel mentioned to me yesterday, break that rubber band because I want the tenant out and the seller can't get the tenant out. Well, I can get the tenant out. I know how to do that. I have the wherewithal to do that. So I'm just going to do that. When we're getting 45%, 50%, 47% of value in the property the moment I buy it, and the seller is going to mitigate the cost of me evicting the tenant. Oh my goodness, I'm going to take the seller up on that one. But I'm going to stand firm on most occasions that I want the tenant out. So in all systemization, in all systems and all structures of how you do things, there are times that you're going to waver. It is what it is because what we're doing is we're looking at the bottom line. What's the impact on our bottom line? And we have to do the best for our bottom line. And if it's buying with the tenant in it and evicting the tenant and mitigating the cost with the seller, that's in our best interest. And great questions, by the way. I wanted to mention about the daily deal. The daily deals, for those of you that don't know what they are, is their actual calls, live phone calls with sellers going through the process of selling us their house. So you can listen to the negotiation with Alex's, you can listen with negotiation with Ryan's, you can listen to the whole thing of how we get contracts done on a daily basis. We charge $49.97 for that per month, and I think that is the best $49.97 someone could spend if they want to know about real estate, because my goodness, this is real. This isn't fake. It's not make-believe. It's not theory. It's not maybe if. It is absolutely real. When you hear real stuff done, maybe, just maybe that'll convince you can do it too, because I know you can. Hey guys, until next time, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.